Welcome! We are playing in a vintage preliminary with Underworld Outcome. We've already been paired for round one and I am down on time. I did not realize that this thing had already started, so if you're interested in more about this deck list, check out the video that I released just a few days ago with Underworld Outcome. But for now, we're jumping right on into match number one. We're on the draw. This hand is a little bit slow, and I'm not sure what our opponent's playing, so I'm going to ship this. Much better. All right, so we're on the draw. Ponder. Ponder's fine. Another land. Didn't really need another land, to be perfectly honest. But that's okay. In hindsight, knowing that we were going to draw a land, the other fetch would have been better to keep over Volk. But it's not the end of the world. Our opponent's likely playing Xerox or Underworld Breach. Can't really tell quite yet. Alright, so this looks like Breach. We're just taking the control role right now. PO. I don't know if we want that or not, but I don't hate just keeping this stuff for now. Like, all of those are fine draws. Sorry about that. I have my foot on the bar underneath my desk and it shifted. Alright, they're going to fetch here. Hullbreacher. I think I'm going to let that go. This does mean I'm probably going to end up fetching away the PO on top of the deck. So this is actually like the Grixis Thieves deck. I hope you die to that Mana Crypt, opponent. I think I'm willing to fight over the deck. It looks like they are as well. Pitching dig through time. Time walk. Cruise, that's a good draw. Jeez. I shouldn't say a draw. A good card to have in hand. I don't know what they had. But that was pretty brutal. So we do know that we have Force PO on top. Get to look at 2 new cards. Part of me wants to fetch just to increase the odds that we find one of our 3 Pyroblasts. But I don't know if I want to burn the fetch and then get stuck looking at cards we don't want with top. It's a tough situation. Underworld Breach. Seems fine. Plays around Pyroblast a little. Alright, so we can't even use top to draw into Pyro here, so our Narset's just dead. Two on the bottom. Chose to use a blue mana to cast Soul Ring. That's a little odd. Merchant Scroll, Pyroblast. It's worth noting that we're mana short of winning, assuming that Breach resolves and then Merchant Scroll resolves, we're mana short. I don't think we need to remove the Hullbreacher. I think we can just win through it. All right, let's top. I think I want the Academy here. Hmm. Yeah, this is a little tiny bit awkward. Maybe I should have planned this through it a split second longer. All right. Well, our breach didn't do much. Unfortunate. You lose those flips, you hull breaching jerk. Very expensive treasure cruise here. I mean, still an ancestral recall, but a little bit expensive. So they have a top and 2 new cards. Hmm. We can't draw a card with top anyway, so I guess we get a shuffle in the turn. But we're running out of time. We're actually like fairly close to being dead. Like how we win this is that our opponent, like for some reason, doesn't have counter magic. They put 2 on top. Is this a Citadel? I guess so. No, they can make us lose 10. Yep. I want to see what our new cards were. Garbage. Okay. Alright, lost game 1 to the Thieves deck. I found against them, like, you don't really want top deck tutors. And I know it's, like, crazy, but I don't think Time Walk's actually that good. We're not playing anything where we need to take extra turns. Like, it's just sort of like an average card. So I'm going to board that out. And if you want to show your appreciation for this content, theepicstorm.com/shop. All right, game 2, we're on the play. This seems fine. Just waiting on our opponent. And they've chose to mulligan. Okay. What's he kept? Ancestral. Well, I'm going to force them to force right now. Ooh, they allowed it to resolve. What about this one? Three cards is where our opponent draws the line, and they pitch Brainstorm. Okay. Get out of here. No point in playing a land yet. In case we draw into Academy or something. I think I'm gonna bottom. Like, Pyroblast is good, but we're trying to win right now. And there's the Academy. Ooh, let's play the Mana Crypt. Let's get one more mana out of this. Is that a Tinka? Ding. That should be the game. Just making sure what I want to do here. I think I want to bring back Mana Crypt. Okay, and our opponent got bored and conceded. Um, so there wasn't a deterministic line there. Like, we didn't have a way of guaranteeing to get Brain Freeze. So my options were to Tinker for top or to just cast PO for 4 or 5. And I was probably going to PO there. All right, submit that. This seems fine. So right before this event, I recorded a really awesome Pioneer Lotus League with Lotus combo. You know, like untapping and tapping your Lotus fields. It was very awesome. So if you're watching this, you should go watch that because that league is fucking nuts. I really enjoyed it. Like, I had so much fun during that I was like, you know what? I'm going to record the vintage prelim. Here I am. So if I'm recording this and you're enjoying this, make sure you check out that Lotus combo. I mean, there's Lotus in both decks. What's not to like, right? Our opponent's finally kept 7. We'll keep. Gonna hold the Emerald. There's no, or I'm sorry, the Pearl. There's no reason to play it out into Dak Faden. Excuse me. All right. I think I'm gonna play these out because I can PO with Fluster backup. Force of Will pitching Dak Faden. Ding dong. I'm going to hold the Moxen. Once again, there's no reason for me to play in a Dak Faden, so I'm just not going to. So I'd almost expect a Hullbreacher here. And this should be a kill. Underworld Outcome. I feel like we just bullied our opponent in these post-board games. Boom! Hell yeah. 1-0 in the Vintage Prelim. Well, I hope you're ready for round number 2 because here it is. We're facing ATOG 215, and according to Goldfish, they're actually playing the same deck as their last opponent. If this hand had a single land in it, I would keep this, but unfortunately we gotta ship it. Interesting. I think the right choice here is the bottom and opal. Can't keep that. No point in playing out the Mox. As far as I know, these decks do not play days, and it's just a possibility of getting stolen by deck. This is looking a little more like Xerox than the Grixis Thieves deck, but I could be wrong. I guess Xerox doesn't play Soul Ring. Jeez. Turn 1 Tinker with forced backup. That's brutal. So we're not winning this one. Did our Ponder even shuffle? Come on. It didn't. Like, those are the same 3 cards. So Magic Online draws them in reverse order. So our Ponder just didn't shuffle. I've actually seen this a bunch in the last few days, which is kind of frustrating. I'm going to concede here. I think, like, if you're going to shuffle with Ponder, you actually need to, like, click on the cards. I was playing some matches earlier where my opponent shuffled multiple times. This is Cube, but their top card just never changed after multiple shuffles. So I think it's definitely bugged. And especially in Cube where there's only one of it. Need one more card. Timehawk. Might as well board the same as we did before, right? I think I might need to make a new category for this Grixis Thieves deck. It's currently not in my spreadsheet, but I faced it. Like, this is like the 5th time, maybe the 6th time in the last week or so. Like, it's very popular. All right, I guess I'll shill while we wait. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the Epic Storm mini token pack at theepicstorm.com/shop. You get 6 mana symbols, 1 storm symbol to help keep track of all your paradoxical outcome mana. 9 different goblin tokens on the back, in case you're deciding to play Empty the Warrens. And they're mini. They're half the size of a standard Magic the Gathering card, which means that they're small enough to fit in your deck box. They're actually terrific. High quality cards. They're printed on actual card stock. Really great stuff. But if you're a paper boomer and you don't want that many tokens, because that pack does come with 54 tokens. Let's say you only want 10. You can get our original token pack. There's only 5 of these left. Once they're gone, they're gone. And you get these 10 tokens. This rule, we don't print these anymore because the rules change with keeping track of your mana floating and storm count, etc., where you're no longer allowed to place die on these in competitive events. That said, Vintage doesn't really have that many sanctioned competitive events. Maybe they're better for you. So if you're interested, get these while they're still in stock. All right, game 2. I mean, I'm going to keep this, but I don't like it. The way that I'm viewing it is that this hand is really like force blue card fluster Lotus lands. Like, we're never casting this outcome as an action spell. I don't even think I'm going to play Lotus. Like I said, there's no point in getting it stolen by Dak. And maybe we'll need it for Fluster. Like, let's say we draw Ancestral or something, and like this helps us with the Stormcount for Fluster. Our opponent mulliganed. Lotus is a good card to have in our deck with Underworld Breach in it. That said, we don't have a Brain Freeze yet either. Let's just draw Ancestral Recall. How do you guys feel about that? Everyone watching. Why don't we just channel our energy together and we'll draw Ancestral Recall? Does that sound good? Plenty of artifact mana here. They have an upkeep Ancestral. Jeez. This person's draws have been very good. So if they Pyro here, we can Fluster. Wow. So they can actually pay for Fluster here. So we just have to let this go, unfortunately. Mana Crypt into Time Walk. I like that. They're at 12. So hopefully Mana Crypt just kills our opponent this game. No Justice. Treasure Cruise. There was a pause after they tried to cast it, which is how I knew that it was Treasure Cruise. Wait, they already had the Mana Crypt in play. Never mind. Wow. The draws. Our opponent's just savage. Their opening hand was very reasonable, too. I mean, they probably have a Pyroblast in hand by now. Come on. We just need that Mana Crypt to kill our opponent. Dorat? Sure. Come on, Mana Crypt. We do have 2 bolts in the deck as well. Maybe we're not out. I don't know. So now if we draw an Underworld Breach, we might be able to win. Two to the bottom with Preordain. That's a good sign. So we have 3 breaches that just win the game on the spot. No point in casting Brain Freeze, because all it does is mill potential breach draws. You can't make this stuff up. So we need them to lose back-to-back Mana Crypt. So they would have to lose this one in order for Mana Crypt to kill them. Or else we're dead. And they won the Crypt. So now we have to top deck in order to stay alive. That's not going to do it. Sure. Alright, they just won all their Mana Crypt rolls too. And we're dead. Alright, so now we're 1-1. Not the end of the world. Let's try to get the next few. Welcome to round number 3. We are on the play. I have no clue what our opponent's on, so we're just looking to keep a pretty good hand. And this would be that. So we're going to try this. Turn 1 PO. Hopefully we're facing like something like Shops with a hand like this. Alright, we're facing Breach. Alright, let's see what we can draw. A couple tops. It's not too bad. They do have a Pyro and a Fluster. But I think we can beat that on our turn. Oh, they have a Mox too. I guess I missed that they have double counter. They could freeze us, I guess. I didn't even consider that. That play was just bad. I guess freeze doesn't play around the top. So let's say I tinker. They pyro. We force. We're a mana short. Unless I draw a mana right here. Well, this is a mana, but it doesn't beat the fluster. So if we force and they fluster, we can actually pay. Sorry, Tinker. I don't feel like I played this game super well, but we're in an okay spot. It's not like we need Tinker to win anyway. Let's try to get rid of that other top. So our opponent has 3 cards that we know about now, 2 unknowns. They don't have a black source for demonic. There's their black source. So now they're down to 1 unknown. Sure, you can have a time walk. Alright, so now we know their entire hand. Nice scry too with our Narset in play. So I could upkeep top. I'm not going to because we're going to Narset minus anyway, and it's then if we want to top again, it's just a lot of wasted mana for cards we're already going to see with Narset. We know both cards in our opponent's hand. I'm choosing to ponder in case we hit something good here. I think I'm going to shuffle that. Breach. Does that win? No, it will win next turn. And our shields are down at the moment. We could draw into Pyroblast, but if like Demonic, if they like draw Lotus, we're actually dead, I think. Or Breach. Maybe it was bad for me to top right there for that reason. Yeah, that was probably slightly loose. I think I was a little too, what do I want to say here? Tunnel vision down winning that turn when I didn't need to. Interesting. Now this should win. They have Brain Freeze and whatever card they got off Demonic Tutor. You freezing me is the same thing here. I think it's actually slightly better for me. All right, our opponent has seen what's going to happen. So we have stolen game one despite me playing probably not very well. All right, so I'm going to board out Time Walk, this Hercules. Actually, I haven't been boarding out Hercules. Jeez. Oh, that's where I've been going wrong these first 2 rounds. Fortunately, we never drew it. Maybe take out an Opal. I don't really want to board in Bolt versus Breach. Like, I'm just, like, actually not a big fan of Time Walk in this deck in general. I've considered cutting it all together, but in post-board games, you do have Blightsteel, and it has applications there, but I think Time Walk is secretly, like, an overrated card in Vintage sometimes. Like, I'd rather have Mystical in my hand than Time Walk, or Preordain, or whatever. I know it sounds like blasphemy, but I truly believe it. Well, this is a hand. top. Why can't I draw Black Lotus right there? I think I'm actually just going to pass. I don't really need to cast this Preordain. But once again, I am asking you, why can't I draw my Black Lotus right now? Top once again with Preordain. It might be crazy, but like part of me wonders if I should cut the main deck Time Walk for a second Preordain. Like I just don't think I just don't think Time Walk's actually that good in this deck. I'm willing to listen to. Sorry, I have like an eyelash that's being caught. I'm willing to listen to everyone tell me why I'm wrong, but it just doesn't seem that strong. Sorry, like I have this like thing in the corner of my eye. Whisper, sure. So my plan this turn is actually to so they're gonna pass. I was going to say I want them to like play a bunch of spells so I can freeze myself for more. Because like right now I'm just like looking to mill like Black Lotus. Like I want to mill Black Lotus and then I want to draw land. Mana Vault. Alright, step one. Boo. I have double force. I think I'm gonna go for it. Maybe I should wait. No point in playing top there, like when we have double fluster. If this is a mentor, I do not care. Well, I do care about that. So it's worth noting that if they fluster or force back right here and we draw another red source, we can still win, I believe. All right, so now we're put in a position where we have to draw, I think, another red source. It might have to be a fetch land. I haven't done the math. So we lose 3 to Pyroblast. That was a good interaction for them. There's the red source. Alright, so we're pretty much all in on this breach resolving now. Sort of just have to hope that our opponent's a little bit color screwed, and that's not the case. I think that tells me that they have another counter. Because, like, if they wanted to lock out the game, they could have just gotten a force back. So if they have a force here or a fluster, we're dead. Well, now they just took away fluster as an out. So they have 3 forces left. Ooh. Do they really not have anything? Wow. 2-1. All right, round number 4, the final round of this prelim. We're on the draw. We have a pretty close hand. I think I'm going to try this. You know, Force, Pyroblast, Blue Source, you know, we have a lot going on here. Our opponent's last deck was 4-color Breach. We just faced Breach. We'll see what we can do. Really wanted to land there. So we can Mystical for Ancestral. Alright, let's see some mana. That's literally not what I asked for. I think we have to pass. Well, that was brutal. So if we draw a blue source next turn, we can tinker with Pyro backup. It's pretty good. We just got screwed this game by never drawing a second land. I mean, we did keep a zero lander. I recognize that. But you'd think off an Ancestral you would have drawn a little bit of mana. Like, we have nothing else going on here, and I'm not going to jam Tinker. If they want to Pyro Hercules, we let them. Our draw this game just did not come together. Hmm. We're like pretty close to dead here. They just have to find a breach off Narset. A little shocked that I'm not dead right now. I think their plan might be to just freeze themselves a bunch. Or are they going to do the Ancestral? Looks like Ancestral. What's the plan? You get 2 chances at brain freezing yourself. You mill like so 9 and then 12. Okay. They're just gonna go for the value ancestrals, which are fine, and now they have it. All right. So game 2. Maybe I want to bring in Crypts. Let's try this. Sure. Our opponent is mulliganed. Let's see you tinker. It's not a bad draw. Apparently it's worth a Pyroblast, and I'm good with that. I'm not going to fight over a probe. Sure. Not really what I needed. Gives us a blue card for force, but like, we're not going to peel for one. I could have cast Peel on the end step there. I decided not to. Alright, I might do it this turn. Knight's Whisper. That's interesting. I'm going to pitch the Mist up here just because the Brain Freeze has more value if we draw one of our three breaches. Oh no. Their hand was stacked. Alright, so we're dead if we don't draw right here. Technically it's an out. I don't even know what we'd hit off this. Not that. So they only have 6 right here. Knight's Whisper is their top card. Yeah, we're just dead. Make sure that they're smart enough to cast their Whisper before attacking. Okay. So we finished 2-2. Not the worst. All right, so we finished 2 and 2 in this event. And I'd love to hear your feedback on the deck. So let's click on Magic Online again. So here's the deck list. I think that we might be able to lose the Time Walk and play a second Preordain. I just don't think that the Time Walk is that good. Like, what is it doing in this deck other than literally taking another turn? I'm still not sure on the Pyroblast slot on the sideboard if that should be something else or if it should stay as Pyroblast. I think this deck is close. I think that it's not fully optimized yet. Like, Time Walk could also be Night's Whispers. Like, we could lose Preordain and Time Walk and play 2 Night's Whisper. Maybe that's something we need. I'm just not quite sure. Like, Time Walk and Preordain becoming Night's Whisper might actually be the boost this deck needs. So I'm open to feedback. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this despite the mediocre record. And thanks for watching. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.